Parents, does your year 11 or 12 studying standard math mark their work, but they don't get the results they're looking for? If so, give me 5 minutes and I'll show you this proven flowchart step by step of what to do to mark your work, right, to get a band 6 in HSC Standard Mathematics. And if you want this flowchart as a PDF, just comment flowchart below and I'll send it straight to you. So for those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Andrew Malcolm. I'm the owner and founder of ACM Tuition. And in 2020, I came first in New South Wales for standard mathematics. And since then, I've helped hundreds of students score a band 6 in the HSC Standard Math exam so that they can get into their dream university degree. Right. And every single video I post, I give you guys one actionable tip you can use to help your team score a band 6 in the HSC Standard Math exam. Right. So with all that out the way, let's get into this. Right. The first thing they need to do is they need to mark their work. Right. So a lot of students don't even do this, right? And they wonder why they don't get the results they're looking for, right? So after we mark our work, what do? Right? We see, did we get the question right? Did we get it right? It's either a yes or a no. If you did, obviously move on, right? You don't need to do the question again if you got it right? If you didn't get it right, what do you do after this, right? Have a quick look at the answers. And this is brief, right? It's just like, you're just checking, like, was there a formula? Was it a silly mistake that we made? Or do we just not know the content, right? And this is a big distinguisher. Is it a silly mistake or you just didn't know the content, right? If it was a silly mistake, like, we wrote the answer wrong or we put it in the calculator wrong, important is to make a note and redo after, right? There's this thing called contextual interference, right? And you learn it in physiotherapy when you learn about learning. It's that when you want to learn something, right, it needs to be effortful. So in order to increase that effort, to make your brain think and stretch your brain, you can extend the time that you between when you see a problem and when you do it, so your brain has to remember how to do it. Right? And so that's what we're doing here when we're making a note and we're redoing it later. Right? You could search it up if you want contextual interference. It's pretty interesting. Right? The next thing is if we have a quick look at the answers and we just don't know the content for that. Right? So if this is the case, right, we can't just have a look at the answers and be like, yeah, I've got it now, I can move on. Right? You've got to actually revise what you're lacking in. Right? And so how do you revise that? Right, you go in the textbook, right, and you can just do Control F, right? If you're using a paper version, yeah, the future is now, old man. But if you go in the textbook, you just Control F what you're looking for, whether it's trigonometry, cosine rule, whatever, and you have a look at the textbook example, right? The important thing is here is you want to see why they got from each step to each step. Right? Why they did sine equals this. Why on the next line they did sine x equals this, right? You want to know that back to front. After you get that, do 3 textbook examples, or 3 textbook questions, I should say. Could be question 1, 5, and 13 or something. I don't care. And after you've got that, right, and you've got the base level of knowledge, right, you want to move and reattempt these questions. Reattempt the HSC question, right? So it's pretty much the whole clarity part I talk about in a lot of my videos. Develop that clarity, apply that to HSC questions, and optimize your study habits, right? So that's the whole flowchart of how to get a band 6 with your marking. If you want a PDF version of this, just send me a message and I'll send it through. Hope this helps. Send me a message if you need anything.